Welcome to All Over the Stands, where every stadium has a story. We're starting off with GeoGuessr games here on the channel that take us around the world to the most legendary venues, from your local grounds to global icons. But this is just the beginning of the channel here on All Over the Stands, where we'll be on the road visiting fans, stands, culture in football from the UK, Europe, soccer in the United States, American football, baseball, rugby, and beyond. So come join the fun. Before you get into it, please hit the subscribe button. It would really help us. I want to get to 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible. So it's free. Same thing with liking. All that stuff's free and helps grow the channel. For this episode, we're going to feature League One stadiums for the 2025-2026 season. I'm an American. I'm going to give you some perspectives from my standpoint on what stadiums I'd like to visit in League One. And I'm also going to give you who I think is going to get promoted to the championship and relegated to League Two. But first, we're going to play this game. We're going to do this as a moving, no time limit challenge. For those of you familiar with the GeoGuessr games, the link, if you want to play along, will be in the description below. And we're also going to look up and explore some of these grounds. So we're going to have some fun today. League One begins on the 1st of August, 2025. The first one, well, we're starting off with Exeter City Football Club. We've got the fixtures for what season is this? 2022-2023. Southampton U21s. Let's see, Fleetwood Town, Posh, Plymouth Argyle, Charlton, Sheffield Wednesday. But Exeter City in the nice and lovely town of Exeter. Well, I got news for everyone. My prediction as an American, you can take it for what it's worth. I think Exeter are going to get relegated. So, yeah, just from my research, doing some exploration, I think they kind of survived from what I've read. Again, I follow some of this in terms of the lower leagues. Not as much. We do have access to watch most of the matches. You do have to pay for it, but we can get pretty much every football league match in England, so that's pretty cool. But Exeter, not as familiar. But yeah, I think they play at St. James's Park, which I don't know if this. I feel like I featured this before. But then again, maybe I hadn't. But I don't know. It feels familiar. St. James's Park train station. So that's pretty cool. So the one cool thing about this ground is you can visit the stadium and not have to walk far if you want to visit St. James's Park, Exeter. We don't want the one in Newcastle. Okay, so the capacity, 8,219, grass, and yeah, it was built in 1904. So pretty cool stadium, this one. Let's just take a quick look at it. Yeah, pretty cool. I like this. I don't know if this is still like this, but I like how you can see the cool thing about football stadiums in England for me, or you can see the town or the city in the quarters of, yeah, that's the only picture it looks like. But yeah, St. James's Park. So let me know where you think St. James, or excuse me, where Exeter will finish this year. All right, Stockport County. Wow, look at ground. Look at this. We just got the players and officials entrance. Somebody had said this. There's these blue. Somebody had mentioned this on my other channel, All Over the Map. Go check that out if you are only familiar with this and you're not familiar with All Over the Map. I have an All Over the Map channel that does GeoGuessr games over there, and I just do different town centers and stuff. And somebody had pointed out that there's these round blue signs in one of the comments that give you a lot of information in the towns, which for me, it's pretty cool. This one says Stockport County Football Club, founded in, I can't really read it. That's the only problem, is I can't really read it, but something that would be interesting to read. Edgeley Park, it looks like. The borough of Stockport. So Stockport County Football Club, Edgeley Park, I guess is what it's called. The Vanarama National League. What's interesting about this, look at that. That's what I'm talking about. The stand, the brick, the different color, the painted brick, and then the roof. That's It's just so English to me. Just a proper with the homes right across. Look at that stand. I mean, when you talk about all over the stands, that's what I think of when I think of a stand. There are a lot of stands, ironically, but interestingly enough, there are stands like this in the United States that have covered roofs that look like this. There are a lot of racetracks that are like it because racetracks, horses run in the rain. And baseball stadiums used to have this, but they kind of gotten away from it. But some do, actually. But not like I think they should because baseball actually isn't played in the rain. So, Stockport County, which is southeast of Manchester, Edgeley. So see Edgeley, it's got to be around here, Edgeley Park. There's Stockport County Football Club. What's interesting about Stockport for me is I was thinking of, I think they might make the playoff. I think they might make it. They could get promoted. So I'll leave it at that. So anybody that's a Stockport County fan, let us know in the comments down below. Just comment, say hi, say hello, or just say what if you're from another country, what club you support or what stadium is your favorite. What stadium is your favorite in League One? Let us know. It's the Hatters from Stockport County. Founded in 1883, but we're here for the stadium, which is Edgeley Park, which is pretty cool. I like this one. This is a pretty cool stand. Built for the Rugby League Club in 1891. So this seemingly is like kind of, I guess, in rugby country, it seems. Stockport, 10,852, built in 1891. Yeah, that's the Blue Plaque awarded. So the Blue Plaque is what that person, it's a sign linking a location, place, person, all that stuff. All right, I've got to get moving on with the game because we are in the middle of a thunderstorm here as I play this. Yeah, this is a pretty cool picture, that one. Look at that. That is a cool and proper ground. Stockport County, covered there, built in the fabric of the city. It's why I love playing these football stadium games from the UK. So we'll get on to the next round and move this one right along. Port Vale. Port Vale is one I kind of putting towards the bottom of the table. I'm just going to be honest, Port Vale, just from my research. And again, you could say, hey, you don't know anything. Where Port Vale is, I don't know. So this is going to be a little more of a challenge here. Port Vale Football Club. Match day ticket collection point. There it is. Ian Fraser. Now to learn about these blue plaques. It's pretty cool. Actually, I like this. The Ace of Spades has been adopted by Port Vale. The Ace of Spades. Actually, I'm glad that person told me about this. Header, that's what I'm trying to. By the way, I coach youth football, a girls' U13 team. In the United States, you cannot, I wouldn't say you can't, but it is not, how should I say it? You can't head under 13, or I mean, in youth football, you can't head. They won't allow you to head. It's a indirect free kick, but sometimes you got to head. You got to clear the ball out. You got to put the ball in the back of that. So if you head the ball, if you're a 12, 10, 8-year-old, it will not count in the United States if you head the ball in the goal. Not allowed to head. So interesting that statute because that's for me a part of the game. I know there's been big changes going on in the UK as well in terms of the size, like 3v3 aside. We say 3v3. So anybody coach youth football? Because I'm going to probably bring our team to England in the next year or two, probably at U14. And I'd like to make some connections, maybe play some matches. Our team's actually a pretty high-level team, pretty good team. But it's interesting because Staffordshire, where is that? We just had that on a map. I feel like up here, Port Vale. This is going to be interesting. I'm not sure where Port Vale is, and we can't go that way. Vale Park. All right. I see you. I see you. Port Vale. Yikes. Jess Sprossen. Alright. I don't know where we are here. Port Vale Club. Partnership with? Yeah, I'm not, Alright, Stoke-on-Trent. Alright, Stoke-on-Trent. We got what we needed. I didn't realize Port Vale is here. So, where is Port Vale? University of Staffordshire. Bet 365, that's Stoke City. So I didn't realize how close Stoke City's got a couple football clubs. So when they say a cold rainy night in Stoke, here's Port Vale. Vale Park is where we are. So we will we look southwest. We're going to go there. And that's where we are. Port Vale. So let's look this one up. And we've got a hurricane outside. This is crazy. All right, Port Vale. It is Vale Park. Burslem, Stoke-on-Trent, Staffordshire, built in 1950, opened in 1950. Here's the stadium, pretty cool football ground. This one, Port Vale. Yeah, nice stand that. And we will get on to the next round. So Port Vale, if you're a supporter of Port Vale, let us know. And we have the DW Stadium and Wigan Athletic. So Wigan, kind of mid-table, I guess. We know where Wigan is. I think Wigan's up here. Wigan's near Manchester. We're in like rugby country, I think. I think Wigan is rugby country. But maybe not. Are we here? Where the heck is Wigan? Thought Wigan was up here. Huh. Maybe it's just too small. Stretford, Stockport County, Rochdale, Huddersfield. Huddersfield's another one I thought might have a chance to move on up. But I don't know. There it is. There's Wigan. Wigan is what stadium? The Brick. It's the Brick. The Brick Community Stadium, built with bricks, looking to the northeast. Wayland Sports Bar. So we're going to look up, go back, Wigan, and after this round, I will go through and let you know about who's going to be relegated, who's going to be promoted. The Latics used to play in the Premier League, League One, and they're at the Brick Community Stadium, capacity 25,138, and this one was built in 1999 at a cost of £30 million. So the JJB Stadium, the Brick Stadium, the Brick Community Stadium, whatever it's called now, Wigan Athletic. So if you're a supporter of Wigan and you're a supporter of rugby, let us know. And let's get into who I think is going to get promoted and who I think is going to get relegated. Well, this one's right on there. This is Wimbledon, one of the grounds I hope to visit this year because it's in London, and I want to visit this because I want to try to get League Two, League One, Championship, and Premier League in a span of a couple of days, if that's even possible. Probably going to have to be during the winter time, but in order to make that work, I got to grow this channel. So if you could, hit like, subscribe, share this with your friends, get this out there. If you're part of a football club, share this out there because I'll be bringing a lot of football stadiums content. If you love stadiums, fans, all that stuff, that's to come. Wimbledon is going to get relegated. Unfortunately, I like the Dons. I like the colors. I like everything about Wimbledon. For whatever reason, I'm not sure, but I like Wimbledon. I hope they stay up. But in my predictions, I have them going down with Northampton, Exeter, and Stevenage. Getting promoted, for me, this American, again, like I said, take it for what it's worth, Luton, Wycombe Wanderers, and Reading. So Wimbledon, let's go find Wimbledon. Oh, this is a pretty new area, it looks like. I guess this could be the new age football grounds where you're still built in the fabric of the city, which is pretty cool. But we're going southwest London, And we're not at the Allianz. We're at Wimbledon, not at the tennis spot. Goals Wimbledon. We're not at Goals Wimbledon. Where is Wimbledon? Rains Park Vale. Now I'm going to need to find out the Wimbledon Golf Club. Yeah, I got to get this game in because there's storms and the electricity could go out because of storms. So I just need to drop this one. Don't have much time. Running out of time. Running out of time. And yes, I am a fan of Manchester United. So are there any Manchester United supporters out there? I'd love to know. I'm going to have to just drop this and lose some points because I hope to get this out. And we're down the road. There it is. The Cherry Red Records Stadium. And let's Cherry Red Records Stadium. And does it pop up? Plough Lane is the stadium. The Dons are the team. And built in 2019, open 2020, cost of £34 million. And there it is. Plough Lane, the home of the Dons, the rainbow, all kinds of good stuff. Pretty cool, pretty interesting, and rugby. So hopefully you enjoyed this one. I had to cut this a little short because, again, like I said, I'm playing this in the middle of a thunderstorm, a crazy thunderstorm, and I hope we don't lose electricity. But with that said, appreciate each and every one of you tune in. Until next time, cheers.